Under different circumstances, what would it have been like if Somi made it into Twice? Did she make the right decision by leaving JYP? Is she truly stuck in YG's dungeon, or does she now have more creative freedom to do what she wants? Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina, and today I thought we could dive into some hypotheticals. As we all know, Somi just released her first comeback with What You Waiting For, which got me to thinking, how would things be different had she actually made it into the final lineup for Twice? And since I already made a video about Somi within Itsy, I thought we could tackle this subject as well. Why she should have joined, why she shouldn't have joined, and honestly everything in between. So if you like this type of content, please like this video, and you can also subscribe and leave a comment to help that good old algorithm. You can also follow me on Instagram because I'm doing a rainbow. I think we're in the yellow now. I also have a playlist. I watch too much Chris Clemens. So let's start from the beginning. For those who don't know, Somi was on JYP's survival show called 16 with all current Twice members and was almost in the final lineup for Twice. However, she didn't make the cut, and she expressed in an episode of Sister Slam Dunk that she thought she didn't make it because she lacked dance skills. Nevertheless, she still maintains a really great friendship with Twice, and she's often seen supporting them and their music. Somi for a long time was known as the almost Twice member. We can see this through various interactions on stage. We can see this in Sister Slam Dunk, where she chose these Twice Cheer Up inspired outfits and was doing the choreography, showing her support for Twice. But it's this almost factor that can be quite daunting, right? Especially when the whole world is kind of putting this pressure on you that this is the group you could have been in. What are you going to do now? Where do you fit in now? But it seems that Somi was quite persistent and kept pushing no matter what. And then from there, we saw her on the TV show Produce 101, where she did eventually make it to the final lineup and debuted with the temporary group I.o.I, and they were very popular for the song Very, Very, Very. Now, I was on a K-pop break at this time. I don't think I mentioned this a lot. I think I had like a 2 to 3 year K-pop break. With 21 and BAP out of the picture, I was just like, someone get my second gen ass out of here. But even during my break, a song like Very, Very, Very still made it into my life. I'm a sucker for these second gen cute inspired concepts. Don't at me. But I mean, this was a temporary group, right? We couldn't expect this to go on forever. We couldn't expect this group to have any type of longevity whatsoever. And we see many other members either going solo or debuting with their respective groups, but it seems that Somi was kind of stuck in this limbo, shall we say, this K-pop idol limbo. And many fans were left wondering, what is she gonna do next? And being under JYP at the time, people wondered, is she gonna go solo? Is she gonna be in a group? If she debuts with a group, well, isn't she going to outshine other members? Because she did have a certain level of fame at that time. But she ended up leaving JYP, citing differences in music direction, and then joined the Black label, a subunit of YG Entertainment, and we all know she must have been so ecstatic about that because she's a blackjack at heart. And then when JYP's new girl group debuted, Itsy, it left people with even more questions. Was Somi supposed to debut in this group? Would it have been better had she debuted with this group given their immense success? And eventually we saw pictures of what Itsy would have been, which did in fact include Somi herself. And people often wondered, what would the dynamics of Itsy be like had she actually joined the group? And I think the truth is she would have fit in no matter what the concept. Whether it's teen crush, girl crush, cute concept, I think she's very versatile and I think she could have fit into anything. But from 16 to Produce 101 to even her other ventures, people did indeed question if she would be quote unquote too famous to debut in a group. If her presence in a group would create this type of Somi and Friends vibe. And since JYP was really guilty of doing this in the past, especially with groups like Miss A, it seems that people were quite content with Itzy's current lineup. Which brings us to Somi's debut with Birthday. It was a long time coming. But we're here now. I'm sorry, I had to. I'm not really. The song was quite polarizing, and of course, all eyes were on her. I mean, she was a solo artist, so literally all eyes were on her, and a lot of criticism came from her performances, and a lot of people wondered, maybe she really would have done better in a group. But despite this, despite the negativity, she still persevered and has since come out with a song called What You Waiting For. But she seems to be really happy with the way things are. But would she have been happier in Twice or would she have felt more restricted? Now, obviously, we can't change anything. We can't go back in time and change Twice's lineup or change, the amount of members within Twice. And I'm not sure anyone really would want that. But I think the idea of hypotheticals is really interesting. I mean, of course, Somi is thriving. She literally just had her first win for What You Waiting For. She celebrated by eating a lemon on stage. She broke her fucking trophy. So Somi's fine. I don't want anyone to misinterpret that. But I do wonder sometimes. So I think one of the major arguments people have is that she wouldn't have fit in with Twice. And I've seen a lot of people say that she wouldn't fit Twice's cute concepts. And as we all know, Twice is known for their cute concepts. I don't see it. I don't really understand that reasoning. I mean, in I.o.I, she did a cute concept, and then Birthday is a teen crush concept, and then her B-side with Out of My Mind is a more, sultry concept. So I do think she can do anything, and I do think she would fit into Twice. And the thing is, once the group has debuted and you've fallen in love with the group, I highly doubt you'd be like, I wonder if this person really would have fit into this group. No, unless you're solo Sen, I think a lot of people grow to love and appreciate every single member of their group, and they can't really picture the group without one or two of the members within it. And that was an argument I saw in the Itsy video a lot. If Somi had joined Itsy, well, Yuna wouldn't have been in Itsy. And people are saying Yuna fit the concept a lot better, but I don't think there's really any way of knowing that. Of course, now that Itsy has debuted, you love Yuna and you couldn't picture the group without her. But there's no way of, being able to predict that beforehand. Another thing people point out is that Somi was too young at the time, her being 2 years younger than Twice's current youngest members, which can often limit group activities, some pointing to child labor laws and so on. The amount of hours you can work in a day is probably limited, and we do often see groups having their debuts delayed in order to accommodate people becoming of age. Now, this doesn't always happen. I mean, you can see with Itsy, that didn't happen, though I wonder if Somi leaving kind of affected that. So despite all of this, there are also people who bring up the benefits of going solo versus the benefits of being within a group. There's no doubt that there are advantages and disadvantages of going solo. But in my opinion, I think it's a lot more popular to debut in a group, right? It's not to say that you can't achieve immense popularity by being a solo artist, but we do tend to see groups blow up. We do tend to see groups kind of being the norm. And I really think that there's a science to this. When you're in a group and one of the members goes solo, I feel like those solos tend to do much better compared to if you were in a group and then you go solo after disbandment or something happens. I feel like those solos don't tend to do as well. And I attribute this to the sense of community. When you're part of a group, you have that sense of community where people who are fans of the group will also support your solo. But if you have a disbandment or whatever the case may be, and then you go solo, I feel like that sense of community might be a little bit disrupted, or maybe, the company doesn't really support you as much anymore. Maybe you have to change companies. There's a lot of factors that really go into it. But at the end of the day, if you have 4 to 9 people in a group, that's 4 to 9 people with different personalities, with different things to bring to the table, with different things that an audience might be more willing to vibe with or might be more likely to vibe with. So I definitely think that being part of a group is more advantageous. Advantageous? Has more advantages. If Somi debuted in Twice, definitely she would have had more opportunities, been in more music videos, had more concerts, had more experiences. All things that I don't really know yet if the Black label can really offer her. But on the other hand, there's also a lot of pressure with being within a group, especially a JYP group, which would have been her fate had it not been with Twice, but with Itsy. First of all, JYP is nitpicky as there's literally a clip where he's saying that he screenshots the performances to make sure that they line up, to make sure that they're super in sync. And I'm just like, oh, geez. But that wouldn't really be an issue as a solo artist, right? Because it's more acceptable to center yourself. It's more acceptable to kind of step away from the other dancers and be the center of it all. And, being in sync is not the most integral part of it, right? I mean, singing and dancing your own parts because you're the only one carrying the performance is the most important. But we also have the conversation of creative freedom. Now, Twice, of course, partake in their album activities. I'm not saying that they don't, But if you're just one person, I'm sure you can have a lot more say over what you want your choreography to be, what you want the sound to be, what you want the lyrics to be. We saw in Somi's reality TV show that she was guiding the choreography to be more of what she wanted it to be. And she was definitely present in the overall production of things. So rather than having a group sound, she has her own sound. Rather than having a group image, she has her own image. So there's definitely advantages and disadvantages to going solo versus being in a group. So as much as I would have loved to see her within a group dynamic, as much as it would be so fun to see her within Twice or within Itsy, I do think she is really happy with what she has now. So I'd love to know what you think. Do you like Somi as a solo artist, or do you think she would have done better within Twice? Okay, that is basically it for this video. Thank you so much for making it this far. If you did, you might as well subscribe, follow me on Instagram. You can also join my channel memberships, which is basically a monthly subscription. And I have 3 different levels that offer 3 different things. So just press on the join button next to the subscribe button and you can see all the different levels. Also, I got verified. Oh, do you see my little check mark? I don't have a play button, but this is the best we're gonna get. These are the current individuals who make up my channel members. Thank you so much for your support. As for me, I'm gonna get going. Bye!